Weather anytime by calling 824-6101 or online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station. It's time now for your expanded local news. As the cost of living continues to climb, a local broadband provider is stepping in to help make internet access more affordable. Sparklight is now offering a new low-cost plan called Lyft Internet in Taylorville and across most of its service area. The plan is designed for individuals and families who qualify through programs like Social Security, Medicaid, SNAP, and others, providing them high-speed internet for just $29.95 a month. The package also includes a free modem, free standard installation, and does not require a credit check. Tony Mockery is the Sparklight Senior Vice President of Residential Services. He says the company believes reliable internet is a necessity and wants to remove the barriers that stand in the way. The new offering comes as the Federal Affordable Connectivity Program comes to an end and aims to fill that gap, especially for households that rely on internet for work, school, or just staying connected. To check eligibility or learn more, visit sparklight.com/lift-internet. The Christian County YMCA is preparing to welcome people of all ages to their various summer offerings. The pool, activity center, and other locations in the area are the place to be for camps, classes, tournaments, and other fun events. With new renovations complete, the facilities are ready for action. The biggest change surrounds the indoor pool. It had been closed for some time to repair the concrete floor where water had been leaking out. Bruce Blanchon, executive director for the CCYMCA, is excited and relieved that the pool will be open once again.
I mean, we were shut down for so long. Probably the longest that the indoor pool had ever been shut down since we had opened, after we first constructed it. And that was really disappointing, but all of our time and effort has paid off because, we're saving close to $1,200 a month in our water bill. Unbelievable.
Always
right?
a big plus.
I mean, we had, but when you have as many as, 9 to 10 leaks under the concrete in several different lines, that PVC pipe, I'm not sure why, but it just deteriorated. So, thank goodness for Southern Ledge. I mean, honestly, I can't thank them enough. They saved us. They kind of came in and Westport out of St. Louis, they detected a leak, but they detected a leak, and that's all they thought there was. And then Southern Ledge got involved and they discovered several more.
The Activity Center also has a new look with added features such as a scoreboard and school banners. The upgrades happen thanks to a donation campaign, and the Y is recognizing those that contributed.
It's just amazing. And then, by getting folks like Adam Vokes and Meredith Valley and Jeff Robinson and John Robinson and many other volunteers involved, Ashley Vokes, Maggie Vokes on our two staff and helping out on that capital campaign committee. I mean, there were the right people in the right spot because Adam had a great idea. I just wanted to get some scoreboards, and Nevco's got great scoreboards in Greenville. And so I was looking at them and thinking, hey, these are multi-use. We could use them for volleyball, pickleball, basketball. This is going to be great. And when he shared the LED screens with me, it sort of just like poof, blew my mind, man. I was like, wow. And that really kind of like, it's just all the little things we did, putting up the school banners and now we're going to get our recognition wall coming up. Lily's is working on it. So all of the donors who contributed over 5,000 or more on that back west wall, they're going to go up there.
Kids Camp will also be beginning soon. Each week has its own theme, and the activities include a wiffle ball tournament and a search for Bigfoot.
We're kind of trying to do some different things in June 16th through the 20th. Mike Eisenbarth is he's got a Bigfoot camp going on. So they're gonna try to go out and see if they can find clues of Bigfoot. They're gonna take a couple trips, one fairly locally and then one a little farther away. But a couple field trips where they're gonna hike around and see if they can find some clues and see if they can find Bigfoot. And that's really cool. I mean, it's a great idea. Kids are gonna really love it. And then on the weekend of July 4th, we're going to host a wiffle ball tournament for kids.
Right.
And I think that's pretty cool. I mean, we've never really done anything like that. Everybody loves wiffle ball.
Yeah. And as for the adults, the YMCA is preparing for its annual golf outing. Blanchard says that the fundraiser, plus their other similar efforts, ensure that their services are available for everyone.
The ironic thing is, I know years ago, we hosted the golf outing almost every year. So I suppose at some point, we didn't host it. So then it had to start all over. But we've had the golf outing forever. It is sort of an extension of the sustaining drive for the YMCA. And that is there to kind of chip in for your community, chip in for kids, chip in for adults, chip in for families. So it gives people the opportunity to play in an outing that benefits those who financially can't afford it. Maybe they've fallen on, some hard times. Maybe they've recently went through a divorce or lost someone in the family or had an illness or something, and it kind of drastically impacted their income. So, the YMCA is there to serve everybody. Whether that, no matter what sex, race, religion, and or inability to pay. And I think that's what's cool about the Y, right? And our golf outing is just another extension of that. That's coming up.
More information on the Christian County YMCA is available at ccymca.org or by calling 217-287-7271. Bruce Blanchard appeared as a guest on the WTIM morning show. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. When you become a member of TCCU, you become an owner and have access to our great loan rates, earn great dividends on our deposit accounts, have access to our full range of financial products, and will receive personal attention from people you know. Membership is open to anyone who lives or works in Christian, Montgomery, and Shelby County. We are conveniently located in Taylorville, Hillsboro, Litchfield, and Pana. You can also visit us online at www.tccu.org. Come join us. You'll wonder why you waited. Member NCUA.
The annual Freedom Tree Community Food Drive from Taylorville Community Credit Union kicks off Monday, June 9th, and runs through Friday, July 11th. The drive supports local food pantries by collecting boxed and canned food items, personal hygiene products, and cash donations at all 4 TCCU locations: Taylorville, Hillsboro, Litchfield, and in Pana. TCCU President Will Perkins says the summer months bring added demand on food pantries, as children are out of school and don't have access to school meal programs. He adds that recent service cuts make this year's campaign especially important. Over the years, the Freedom Tree has helped gather thousands of pounds of food and raise thousands of dollars, all of which go directly to local food pantries, serving area residents in need. Cash donations are especially useful, allowing pantries to buy food in bulk and stretch every dollar further. Donations can be made at any teller station inside the TCCU branches. Perkins encourages both credit union members and the general public to take part in helping their neighbors this summer. The Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce is gearing up for a busy summer. They have events planned throughout the season, especially on weekends, to bring businesses and their owners together, educate community members, and help local economy thrive. Their summer offerings begin with the Professional Development Series. The first seminar, which is scheduled for Tuesday, June 10th, is called Social Security Vitals. Crystal Baker, board president of the GTCC, says the course helps people take full advantage of the public offering.
So April Wolf, who is here with us today, actually came up with this summer series. So the next one, our first section, is on Wednesday, June 10th at 11 a.m. at the chamber office, and it's going to be highlighting Social Security Vitals. So as people near retirement, one of the most important things they need to decide is what role Social Security will play in their retirement income. So considerations such as when to start receiving your benefits or how they can be affected by other sources of income are vital to the retirement planning process. It's important to have all of the information you need to make the right decisions. So that's why the Chamber wants to invite all of our members to this free educational seminar, Factoring Social Security. It's going to be presented by the wealth management team at Midland Investment Services and in partnership, of course, with the Chamber. So we hope everyone reaches out and joins us on, again, Wednesday, June 10th at 11 a.m.
A second course called Climate and Insurance is set for June 18th. The GTCC is also preparing for a host of promotions and other events intended to boost traffic to member businesses. Among those was this last weekend with small town Taylorville holding its weekend sales event from June 6th through the 7th, while Sydney Lynn's Little Bookshop is holding a book signing on June 27th.
Yes, so the small town Taylorville is putting on a event for their retailers for appreciation of the retailers. So they're having a lot of our members and their members and just local businesses are having special events and sales going on. So if you want to visit Small Town Taylorville's website for a shopping and dining map and a list of their participants, again, it's going on this Friday and Saturday. So go ahead and check that out. Yeah, I don't know about you all, but I like to read, so this is pretty cool. So Sydney Lynn's Little Bookshop and Vinyl is hosting a book signing for Frederick S. Durbin and his book, The Country Under Heaven, at their storefront on June 27th. They're located at 109 West Main Cross. If you want to reach out to them, you can get some more information on that.
The Chamber will be involved in the State of Illinois Career Fair being held on July 9th at the Taylorville VFW. April Wolf, Interim Operations Coordinator with the GTCC, says the career fair helps prospective employees navigate the unique processes involving public sector work.
It's open to all job seekers. So this is a great community outreach that we are just thrilled to be a part of. It was so big last year that we can't have it in our offices anymore. So we had to move over to the VFW. So they have a lot of different space there. So it's going to be on July 9th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're going to have 20 different state agencies represented. And they're also going to be doing a resume workshop where they're going to assist people in understanding how the resumes for the state are very different than a traditional job interview or application process. The state really wants to know pretty much your entire work history. So, for instance, I started babysitting when I was very young. They were like, we want to know about that. We want to know that you did childcare. We want to know what you did with childcare. Does that involve any kind of healthcare? Were you CPR certified at any point in time? Like, they want to know every detail from the time that you started working up until your current position.
Finally, the public has this year's edition of Chili Fest to look forward to. The GTCC is seeking sponsors for the event, and there are still several tiers available.
So this is the 40th anniversary, and we have some big plans. We're excited. We're not going to let everything out of the bag, too soon. But we did just release the design for the event shirt, and we're very excited about that. We are going to be having a pre-event sale, but I'm not going to tell you when yet. So you just have to keep looking on our Facebook page, go to our website, listen to the radio to find out when we're going to be doing that. But the big thing that we did is we just released all of our sponsorship levels out to the public. So we gave our members a 2-week head start on sponsorships, and now we've opened that up to the public. Chili Fest is the biggest event in Taylorville, and we want everybody to be involved. So there are several different levels that you can look at. Crystal talked about our newest level, which is the sweet pepper level at $100, and that is for any individual or household that may want to get involved. And then our professional levels start at $250 and go up to $2,000. So there's a range for everybody.
More information on the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce and their events is available at taylorvillechamber.com. Crystal Baker and April Wolf appeared as guests on the WTIM morning show. "60 high school bass fishing teams converged on Lake Shelbyville over this last weekend to compete for an IHSA state title. The trophy will stay in Shelby County. A co-op between Windsor and Stewartson Strasburg High Schools was announced the winner, coached by Patrick Odell and anglers Miles Verdine and Hayden Porter. They caught the 5-fish limit both Friday and Saturday for a state championship total of 24 pounds and 14 ounces. The biggest fish over the weekend was a 6-pound, 2-ounce bass that was reeled in by Gunner James from Newton High School. Legislation impacting pesticide applicators won approval during the spring legislative session in Springfield. The measure was a priority for the Illinois Fertilizer and Chemical Association, says the IFCA's KJ Johnson. The legislation now awaits the governor's signature. This will conclude the second portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by CNB Bank and Trust.
Agriculture drives our community, and at CNB Bank and Trust, we're here to help your operation run smoothly. Our business checking accounts are designed with local farmers and agribusinesses in mind, offering flexible options, digital tools, and personalized support from people who know the land like you do. Visit our Taylorville branch and let's build something strong together. CNB Bank and Trust, helping to open doors since 1854. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Several ag items are getting attention during the recently completed spring session of the Illinois General Assembly. Illinois Farm Bureau Director of State Legislation, Chris Davis, provides a rundown. The spring session wrapped up prior to midnight this last Saturday. Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home.
When it comes to organizing your life, Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville has some words of advice. Consider pre-planning your funeral. The death of a loved one can be a traumatic event in people's lives, and you can spare your family the burden of planning a funeral when they are grieving. Sutton Memorial Home knows that establishing a pre-arrangement assures that important decisions and your personal selection are made in advance and spares your family an additional burden at their time of loss. Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Caring is what they do best.
77-year-old Sherry Lee McCullough of Taylorville died on May 25th. A celebration of life will be held at a later date. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and cremation services in Taylorville. 82-year-old Glenn Neal of Taylorville died on May 29th. Arrangements will be made at a later date, and funeral arrangements are being handled by Schaefer Perfetti and Sally Funeral Home in Taylorville. And 76-year-old Joseph Eugene Bro of Taylorville died on May 30th. Visitation is June 9th from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. at McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. Funeral service will be June 9th at 7 p.m. at McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. Burial will be at a later date in Anderson Cemetery in Palmer. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. Get details on these and other local news stories at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com, or you can hear them every hour on WTIM. WTIM is your only local